Matchmakers. My wife and I, we are known as the Amish Matchmakers. You say, how do you become the Amish Matchmakers? Well, by reputation. We have helped single Amish to find godly spouses and create epic marriages and develop a legacy that is rooted and founded in love, freedom, and faith. But above all else, love is really the most important thing. What does love look like? What does love feel like and sound like? Those are all questions that we try to unpack here, helping you to have more confidence, communicate better, and be more committed to that relationship of marriage, that relationship that will lead to an engagement, that relationship that will lead to a date. This is where it starts, through confidence, through better communication, and through being committed to the process and being committed to your best life and an epic life, right? That's what we want to create here together. Good morning and welcome to this episode of Amish Matchmaker. I'm just kidding. But in all reality, seriousness, we are talking today about relationships, what builds trust, what builds connection. Um, we have. So you failed, you messed up, you had a dumb moment where you said dumb stuff, you did something, you flew off the handle, you had an argument, you had a conflict, you were harsh with her. Now what? What happens when a man fails, falls short? How does it feel to a woman to build trust again? What does it look like to a woman to have repentance, and what does it mean to a woman when a man says sorry, but what does sorry actually mean? Sorry for not honoring you is a good script that we say, and will you please forgive me is a big script that we say as well, because being specific about what you want is really powerful and important. So today I thought we'd talk about, what does it look like now that you've had a fight or an argument, or now you've messed up, you've fallen short, and now what do? You have a situation. So what can we do to bring restoration? What can we do to bring unity once again, and to come into sync as in relationships? And this can go across the board, by the way, in um, not just with your wife or your spouse, or not just with your children, or not just with your girlfriend or your fiance, but really it's across the board, in business, in if you have team members, employees, if you have co-workers, if you have people that you meet with on a regular basis, or somebody that looks up to you, and you're discipling, this can play a part with them as well. I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. I've got quite a schedule today to keep and lots of things to do. So a little 30-minute run here, and then I'll jump back on with Chantel in a little bit as well. I've been up since 3 o'clock. It's good though. 3:30, working on some stuff, working on me, developing who I am, my MVP, my connection to the Father, and my deeper relationship with the Father is affected by thoughts and things and processing. And I want to be known as somebody who loves well. My reputation of love and honor and blessings. And it is important that we work on ourselves and constantly improve. What are you doing to improve? And what are you doing to build trust? What are you doing to build love and connection? Love Talk, men's edition. We talked about rejection a little bit yesterday, and even King David and what it looks like. But I also want to talk about something else that men face a lot in relationships, and that really will squash your confidence, is how to lead without being controlling and being harsh, right? Last week, I shared with you the situation in ways that I had failed and ways that I had been harsh with Chantel. And then I realized too, is as I process more, that is the upgrade and the leveling up of my personality and who I am. what my habits are, what my leadership is as a leader, how I can tend to be harsh in general, with people, with situations. Because again, the harshness comes because I'm passionate, man. I love people. But what it comes across as is that I'm a jerk. I mean, a lot of times that people say that to me, or feel that way about me. Like they're afraid of me. Like, wow, Carlos is pretty abrasive. He's aggressive, and again, my heart is to love well and to literally try to help people to um, create a new story and help them to get unstuck out of. I'm a catalyst for metamorphosis. So truly what motivates me is to help people in transformation, help them in change, and help them to improve their life and to become better as a man, as a woman, as a person, and to have an epic life. Like that literally describes what I want for you. And I'm like waving this flag. Hey, oh my goodness, this is what I've done and this is what helped me. And can I help you? I want to help you. I want to be a blessing to you. And so many people, it's like, he's so aggressive, man. That dude is so aggressive. So it feels controlling. It feels manipulative. It feels aggressive. And it's crazy how that can come across that way. So my wife is constantly encouraging me and telling me the how really matters. The how really matters. And so how we lead, how we communicate, how we are leaders. It's interesting, when I think of King David, even he's kind of been on the radar here talking about King David because such powerful leadership, and then he produced Solomon and his son, and there was a lot of chaos with his children. Don't get me wrong, a lot. Like when you follow the role in the life of David, you begin to see the stress that there was there. However, King David, if you look at Saul and how the king that preceded him, or that was before King David, that king tried to kill him. That king was harsh and aggressive. So interesting. And you see his influence was less than David's. And yeah, how to lead without being controlling, or how to lead without being harsh. I think that's um, good topic. Because leadership is what we do as men. We want to lead. We want to become great leaders. We want to become more confident. Then we have to lead. And leading by example is the greatest leadership that you can have. And so, what does it look like to lead without being harsh, and also understanding the correlation with King David, um, and what he went through as a king, and the harshness of King Saul towards David. So it's interesting to see the difference in leadership and the honor and the blessing that David had, even on King Saul, when he had the opportunity to kill King Saul in the cave when King Saul was laying down and taking a nap, and he cut his garment even just to show that, hey, I could have killed you, And his first thought was, well, I'm going to show him that I was nice to him and I honored him. But then he realized even that was dishonoring him. It's just the craziest humble leadership that King David had. Um, and seeing the comparison of Saul versus David is really powerful, because you can see even the victory and the conquering that David did versus Saul as well, which actually drove Saul to be even more angry and more harsh and more aggressive towards David. So King Saul's leadership was driven by fear. Saul was insecure, he was reactive, he was controlling, jealous, defensive, and image focused. When David succeeded, Saul felt even threatened. Like when Saul, has slain his thousands, David slain his 10,000s. And why do you think that David slew, if that's a word? I'm reading the First Samuel 18:7 that says, how David, let's just say David conquered his thousands. We'll say that, because I think even, sorry, the languaging will get me banned on certain social medias. I'm not trying to say, I'm reading the scripture. And David his 10,000. So Saul conquered his thousands and David his 10,000. So Saul's response was anger and intimidation, emotional volatility, trying to control outcomes. He even threw a spear at David. So harsh leadership tries to control because it fears losing authority. And or in even some cases, you recognize, I know for me, I want to rush things along in a hurry. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And I push and I'm aggressive in that way. And a lot of times it does offend people because I can see a big picture. I can see what this and this and this will create. And they can't see it. They've never been through it, but I have. So if I just want to push them along, and it's really recognizing the process and the process is really where you learn. The process of and the system, going through that system and going through the actions is where you learn. So then King David's leadership was actually driven by humility and honor and blessing. And David was secure in his identity. And it really does come down to that, man. Your identity matters. Why you're afraid to take action in a certain area is because of insecurity. You're not secure in that area. You're not confident in that area of life. And so coming here, working with me, I know some of you don't even let me know you're here. Some of you don't even talk or say hello or say, hey, I'm here, Carlos. Hi, good morning. Like some do, some don't. And I know some of you will watch the recording of this and not even let me know. I get it. But I hope that this is landing and helping some. We help you create an MVP. Why? Because the MVP really is helping you in your identity of who you are, where you're headed, and what you can do in life, and the power that's within you comes out of you when you create your identity. But your identity is created and developed. You got to do it. And if you don't, the world will do it. The world will shape you, and circumstances and the stories around you and the belief that you have about life and people and situations, it will control you. Or you can design it, your identity. You can design your identity. You literally can. We have a process called MVP. And I want you to hear me because this is important. The MVP is, what do I want my mission to be? You say, well, I want to do what God wants me to do. I get that. But David could have said that. David's like, I don't want to be a king. I want to be a shepherd. You remember when he got anointed? He's like, what? I'm a shepherd boy. I'm just a shepherd boy. However, he had the skills. He was qualified because he was honoring, humble, hardworking, did the work to protect the sheep, wasn't afraid of hard work, wasn't afraid to get out there and do the work, lead the sheep, and then lead the people and be amongst the people in the trenches. And that's where he failed, actually, and really messed up, was when he stopped being in the trenches and he was in the ivory tower barking orders. And there was Bathsheba, right? Instead of being in the trenches with the people, loving the people and doing the work with the people. And that's what we have to do. That's where things shifted, even in leadership for Hitler. Hitler originally helped Germany to get out of a Great Depression. And then he stopped being about the people. It started being about conquering and the leader from the ivory tower that isn't connecting with the people anymore. It's real. It happens. Sorry. Take a deep breath, Carlos. Calm down. I'm talking to me here too, by the way. Talking to me. Something I'm working on and wanting to level up in leadership is my languaging has to change. My inspiration has to change, that I can inspire through love and blessing and encouragement and edification versus fear. Fear is a great motivator, but it's not what the Father wants to use. Perfect love casts out all fear. David was secure in his identity. He was patient. He was respectful, emotionally steady, and he was Papa centered on the Father for sure. It even says, in man after Father's heart. Even when Saul hunted him, David refused to harm Saul. Saul had his men and his warriors out there, the best of the best, trying to kill David. I will not, 1 Samuel 24:6 says, I will not stretch out my hand against the Lord's anointed. He understood honor. He understood love. David led from reverence and restraint and his trust in the Father's timing, the process. And I realize that's where I get caught up in, is trying to push the envelope, trying to push. And again, I tend to run over people when I push instead of pulling and leading step by step, slowing down, taking a breath, calming down, looking at the big picture instead of trying to push the agenda all the time. I go. It's overwhelming for people. I get it. And I see that. And I want to be different. I want to be a leader that loves and gets in the trenches with the people, loving the people, honoring them, hearing them, being a part of what their life is all about, building trust through honor and love. Gentle leadership comes from inner strength. What harsh leadership looks like today for men. And by the way, you're a leader if you're married. You're a leader if you're dating. You're a leader if you're engaged. You're a leader. You have a willing follower. And I know she's not a little puppy dog following you around. I'm not saying that, and that's not what I'm talking about, man. This is a men's edition. I'm talking to you, man. And what I'm saying to you is that you are a leader by default. Congratulations if you were able to find a girlfriend, get engaged, and she was willing to marry you, right? That's the process. But even in the process, you have a willing follower in the sense of someone that's willing to connect with you. Yeah, you may have went through a divorce, you may have had a harsh breakup, you may have had someone that broke your heart and created disconnection. You were all in and in love with her, committed to her, and it fell apart. I get it. It happens. And it's not easy. But the reality is that we have to learn to be loving and honoring. And that's the verse that the Father showed me last week. My notes are out there, of course, on the table. But it was amazing how Father was reminding me to love our wives, love the people we love them, not be harsh. Harsh is not love. Harsh is critical, condemning, and rough. What harsh leadership looks like today, men: sharp tone, sarcasm, shutting people down, intimidation, passive aggression, impatience, correcting without compassion, controlling decisions, emotional withdrawal, criticism instead of guidance. Did you hear that? It's a list of things that I can see in me that I have to change. If I'm going to get beyond the level of leadership I'm currently at, the level of impact, the level of understanding, the level of love, because all those things, they are levels of love where I need to increase my love, and it will not be doing those things. I won't have a sharp tone if I love better. I won't have sarcasm. I won't have shutting people down. I won't be shutting people down, intimidating them, being passive aggressive, impatient, correcting without compassion, controlling decisions, emotional withdrawal, criticism instead of guidance. Harshness wounds trust. Have you been harsh this week with yourself, with your spouse, with your girlfriend, with your fiance? Have you? I know I have been. Not with my wife. That was last week. But then it moves on to even team members and clients and yeah, people that work with me where they don't want to work with me. It's the reality. No one wants to be around a harsh leader. It only lasts for a season or fear, right? Will only take you so far in business and in leadership, in connection. Why do men become harsh? Why do we become harsh, man? We see it in Solomon. Excuse me, not Solomon. We see it in Saul with King David because of fear of failure, pressure, you're exhausted, your insecurities, unresolved pain, feeling disrespected, Loss of control. Harshness is often pain coming out sideways. It's true. Harshness is often pain. It comes out sideways, right? Through all these little subtle things. So, what pain are we medicating, right? How did David led differently? He had different leadership habits. He paused instead of reacting. That's a big one for me. Pause, breathe instead of reacting. We can pause right now. Does silence bother you? No, the computer did not freeze up. I'm still here. It's still on. I'm just trying to pause. I need to pause more often. That pause, taking the time, slowing down a bit, hearing people, loving people well, taking time can pay in many, many ways. Pay in relationship and trust points to pause. Harshness does not. Harshness deteriorates trust. David, when we see, in nature and life, in real life, when people pause, great leaders pause and ponder. Even David sought the Lord before acting. Right? He would seek him and ask. Slow down emotionally. He honored people even when it hurt. If you think about it, he spared Saul. He could have killed Saul. He could have been, had every right. Saul was trying to kill him. It's like, hey, that's the consequences, right? You reap what you sow. Saul's trying to kill me. I got an opportunity to kill him. So you reap what you sow. He could have totally said that. But he spared Saul. He honored him, chose honor above. Authority, chose honor above reaping and sowing. He chose love. That's the reality. Respect builds authority. Love, honor, blessing creates authority. He honored people even when it hurt. He paused instead of reacting. He owned his heart. King David did. David repented quickly. We see that situation where he repented, had a soft heart, which created strong leadership. And when we get in a hurry, we try to push things along. We have to pause and stop and get things right. Take a minute. He trusted the Father, trusted Papa. He didn't try to control. This is where it's powerful of what David did as a leader. So, what can you do to be a great leader and not be harsh, but to be loving? We don't want to focus on the harshness either, but we have to identify it and recognize it and see it. Do you see it in you? I see it in me. And what's interesting is this last epic intensive, creating my MVP, the how. I am a catalyst for metamorphosis. And the how has been with fear. The how has been with harshness to create change and transformation through harshness. Go, go, go. Don't shrink back. That was my thing. Stop shrinking back. That's what I was saying. Getting passionate about that. That's focused on the wrong thing. That's harsh. That's controlling. But the father says, he stops, he pauses. A true wise father stops and pauses and says, I love you. I believe in you. Will you join me in this journey? That's what Father said. That's what David would want to do, is pause and ask the Father. Ask Papa God, like, okay, what should I do in this situation, Father? You pause and be willing to do that. Take a breath, not react. He didn't grasp. He trusted Papa to work on his behalf. He owned his heart as King David, number 3. And so he had a soft heart, strong leadership, brings unity, criticism, and pointing out someone's faults or how they're falling short. All that's going to do is create mistrust, create fear, create chaos. That's what Saul did, if you think about it. And David knew that the Father would put him in place. God, the Father, would put him in place as a leader when it was the right time. He didn't try to control it. He trusted Papa to defend him, to guide him and direct him. He released control of outcomes. David did. Number 5 thing that David did, 5 traits he had as a leader, he spoke life. He encouraged others. Words shape environments. How we react harshly and snap at people. Ah! This world needs more love. This world needs more edification. Now, how do I bring this down and practical for husbands and leaders? You're a leader of a business. You're married. You have a girlfriend. You have a fiance. Guess what? You're a leader. I hope you'll lead well, lead by example, lead with love and not harshness. When tensions rise, can we take a breath, get buy-in, get someone to join you, ask questions versus harsh reactions and demands? No, just do it this way. Harsh and aggressive. We lower our voice, slow our words, make sure they're landing, wait for a response, listen fully, respond calmly, ask for clarification instead of accusations, clarify to bring love and honor and blessing. A strong man, confident man can create safety or fear. Your big presence, Carlos. That's what I hear all the time. And it's real. And I agree. But that big presence can actually create safety in knowing that I got your back. I got your back. Are they willing followers or are they afraid of you and that's why they follow you? Fear of what will happen if they don't do what you said. Sure, children learn leadership from our tone. Fathers, husbands, men. Harsh homes produce fear, not respect, not honor. If you're single, a harsh man will repel. A steady man attracts. A confident, steady protector attracts. Women feel emotionally safe. Safety first. Do people relax around you or do they tense up? Do I correct with kindness? Do I listen or dominate? Do I react or do I lead? Am I driven by fear or driven by trust? Authority without gentleness becomes oppression. Gentleness with authority becomes influence. I'm going to say that again. And I need to hear this. And I'm saying it for me, not just you. This is about me today. Authority without gentleness becomes oppression. Gentleness without authority becomes influence. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. This is what Yeshua, Jesus said. That's leadership without harshness. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. That only comes if you're willing to look and see and do reflection on yourself. Do people relax around you? Do you correct with kindness? Do you listen or dominate? Do you react or lead? Am I driven by fear or trust? Only you can answer those questions. Only you can know and say, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Is that real? So do people want to yoke with you, connect with you? That's leadership with love. What kind of leader do you want to be? You get to decide today. We get to become great leaders. David was a great leader. We lead with calm, strength, and clear hearts. We speak with steadiness that builds trust. That's what we do, men. It's what we're becoming. As men, we're learning to lead in a way that brings peace, clarity, safety, not pressure. There's enough pressure out there from the world. Pressure is beneficial, but the world creates pressure. We, as loving leaders, can create safety, place where people can let their hair down, a place where people can be themselves, a place where people can feel love and trusted and accepted for who they are and not how they perform. That's hard place to be, to perform, to have to perform all the time. Sometimes men lead from pressure, fear, or urgency. That's where I feel a lot. Urgency, 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 urgency. That's me. Because I love you. And I want what's best for you in your life. And the urgency does cause me to create a lot of pressure that's undue, not necessary. David, when he was stepping, David shows up, shows us leadership that is grounded, humble, and anchored in Papa. We respond instead of react, man. This is the language that Father wants us to walk in. We bring calm into tense moments. We speak life even in correction. Tell them where the great places they can go to and why. We listen deeply before leading. We carry responsibility with humility. We create environments where people feel safe. We lead with conviction and gentleness. Because how you see yourself and how you speak about yourself matters as well. Versus seeing yourself as harsh creates harsh too. Being harsh on yourself causes you to be harsh on others. It's real, it's part of the process. You reap what you sow. Are you sowing harshness on yourself too? I am harsh with myself for sure. We trust Papa to guide outcomes. We restore quickly when we miss. That's what I get an opportunity today to restore quickly with my team in the office and and the team that I'm developing at Nesbitt Repair that I'm running over because I'm creating such urgency. We grow stronger through refinement. I am becoming a man whose presence brings peace. Are you with me, men? I lead with emotional strength instead of feeling like, oh, I hope I don't mess up, or I don't want to be harsh. Say, I am becoming a man whose presence brings peace. We have to focus on the things that we want to become. It's real. I have to do the same. I'm trying to control my harshness and my anger. No, I lead with emotional strength and passion. I hope I don't mess up. No, instead, we can say and change that framing in my brain. I take responsibility and keep moving forward. David and his identity declaration, it's a great thing for us to repeat. Constantly, I lead with humility, strength, and wisdom. My words build, my presence brings steadiness, and my heart stays soft before Papa. What kind of leader are we becoming, man? What atmosphere do we create when we walk into a room? How can we bring more calm this week? More confidence, more surety? Where can we lead with gentleness and clarity? What would David like leadership look like today? If you were being like David, what would that look like? Leadership is about isn't about avoiding mistakes. Leadership is about moving forward towards maturity, leveling up, becoming better. We are men who lead with strength and tenderness, conviction and kindness. We grow, we learn, and we move forward together. You hear me? I'm going to say it again. We are men who lead with strength and tenderness, conviction and kindness. We grow, we learn, and we move forward together. Together, that's how we'll win, by moving forward together. Are you with me, men? I love you. I wish you well today. And I want you to have the best day ever, the best week ever. You've got what it takes. We just have to be willing to make mistakes and then learn from them and grow, right? We are men who lead with strength and tenderness, conviction and kindness. We grow, we learn, we move forward together. I invite you to hold me accountable to these things of becoming better in my languaging, becoming better in how I do these talks, even with you men in the mornings, to do it with love and honor. Language where we are moving towards maturity, where we look at what are we becoming? What atmosphere do we create when we walk into a room? How can we bring more calm this week? Where can we lead with gentleness and clarity? What would it look like to be a leader like David today versus Saul? Which leader do you want to become? Which leader do you want to walk out? You've got what it takes. God bless you. And thanks for being here. I'm going to read some of these comments now. Let's see. What would Jesus do if those were released in his time? If what was released in his time, I don't know what that means. All right. Thought maybe some of these comments or questions or I could ask or answer or address, but it doesn't look like they're really pertaining to what I had to say. But hopefully this has been beneficial for you today. I hope that these words are beneficial for you. If not, they are for me. I'm grateful that for those of you that did join me today, those of you that are here as a support, thank you. Love you, bless you, and I hope that we together become better.